Well, hello and welcome into another video in the weekly educational series that we have right here on YouTube. I am Ivan Zoot. I am your $100,000 hair cutter coach, the creator of the $100,000 Hair Cutter Academy. And this is our video corresponding to our topic of the week for the week. And this week, the topic is tracking. Tracking your numbers and your statistics to help you understand your business, to help you make good management decisions for your business, to help you build and grow your business. But before we get into it, of course, we get started with $100,000 Hair Cutter. It's not too late. Holiday gift. Perfect for you or any hair cutter you know. Today is December 21, the official beginning of winter. It may be cold where you are, but December 21, let's turn to that page in the book. December 21, day 355 of the year. There's just 10 days remaining in 2020. Drop and roll the ear. Creating clean perimeters around ears can be tricky. The size of the white wall, the gap between the ear's point of attachment and the hairline, can vary quite a bit. Folding the ear down out of the way and rolling the clipper around the ear from front to back can make this challenging element much easier to execute. The important thing to remember is not to follow the hairline if the white wall is high. Following the hairline will take the taper up too high and compromise the entire haircut shape and your ability to blend. Drop and roll the ear. Let's take a look at what that looks like, guys. If you've seen me do this on a live client, drop and roll the ear is the idea, and you might have a tapering guard in place on the clipper that you use the heel of the clipper to fold, not mannequin ears don't fold, to fold the ear down out of the way, and then once the ear is folded, you roll around like that. And my comment about following the hairline, not the ear, this is different than this. Huge difference there. That'll cut you up too high, compromising your ability to taper. Follow the ear as you roll over and around. You literally come down, you fold the ear down with the clipper, set the clipper in, and come up onto the ear like that. So drop and roll the ear, a great technique for manipulating the clipper around the ear. That one's a cutting technique. You know we've got sales, advertising, marketing, promotion, hiring, training, business building. You name it, it's in the book. All right, well, let's get into the topic of the week for the week, tracking. It is the end of 2020. A lot of people are happy to hear me say that, but it's a year. One way or the other, it's a year. It's also the beginning of a new year. 2021 is upon, can you believe it's 2021 already? It is upon us. Now, when it comes to tracking numbers, your 2020 numbers are going to be tough to use as a base for certain things because some of your 2020 is going to be just big fat zeros from lockout. Some of your 2020 is going to be unrealistic numbers from the surge, what I call the bump and the slump. And some of your numbers are just going to be slumpy numbers because it's been a tough year. Totally get it. So we can't really rely on 2020 numbers in many cases as a valuable basis against which to compare the hope for the prosperity of 2021. But we crunched our numbers nonetheless. You know, when we talk about numbers, I've got a couple of expressions I love. My two favorite expressions are, to know your numbers is to grow your numbers. I'll say it again, to know your numbers is to grow your numbers. And I believe that idea reflects on the idea that just the process of knowing will cause your numbers to begin to increase. You know, when I'm out and about engaging with beauty industry and barber industry professionals, I might say to someone, hey, what was your rate of occupancy last month? And some people, when I say that, will say, my who of what? They have no idea what I'm talking about. They're not trackers. They're not on top of their numbers. And yet occasionally I'll talk to someone and say, yo, what was your rate of occupancy last month? And they look at me and they go 78.2. They just spit that number out cold. It's like if I asked you your height. You know how tall you are. You don't even have to think about it. That number's on the top of your head. And to know your numbers is to grow your numbers. The other companion expression with that one is, that which gets measured gets improved. That which gets measured gets improved. The numbers that you are on top of are the numbers that will begin to grow and move in some cases, just by virtue of the fact that you have an awareness of those numbers. You know good from bad, high from low, busy from slow. Not just the gut feeling of, I think I'm busy, but the facts associated with real numbers and statistics. All right, 2 halves to today's program. Let's get into it. Number 1 are my tips for trackers. If you are a long-time established number junkie tracker, these will seem, you know these, you do these. But if you're new to tracking, if you're excited, enthusiastic about tracking, these will jumpstart the success of a tracking program. Tips for tracking. Number 1, track one thing. Don't try to track everything. If you haven't been a tracker, track one business statistic for 30 days. Track it solid for 30 days. Get a handle on the process. Start to develop the habit of tracking. Next month, you'll add a second statistic. Next month, you'll add a second statistic. And every month, you'll add a statistic until 5 or 6 months from now, because 5 or 6 tracking stats is really about all you'll need to truly have a handle on your business. You'll add one every month. Tip number 2, track daily. Track every day. This is a classic example of the sum is greater than its parts. What I mean by that is, if you track your 1, 2, and 3 statistics daily, it'll take you less than a minute. Add it up, write it down. Add it up, write it down. Done. Move on. Out the door, off to your family, on with your day. Track a single statistic. Track it quick. Track it every day. Hang on. I think I'm going to sneeze. Maybe not. Look up at the light. I think that's what they say. Look up at the light, right? I think it just tips your head back and helps you. But anyways, track your statistic. Track it every day. If you wait till the end of the week, instead of 1 minute, less than a minute, it'll be more than 5 minutes. Finding the numbers, getting the numbers, pulling the numbers together, adding the numbers up. If you let it go a month, it won't be 6 or 7 minutes. It'll be a whole half hour. It builds. It's too much. Track every day. Get in the habit of that couple of moments of little tracking every single day. It'll be a simple process. Next on the list, tip number 3, track on paper. Don't make this complicated. A simple spiral notebook and a pen. Pencil. Keep it easy. Keep it simple. You don't need a fancy app. Great if you use one and like one. You don't need an Excel spreadsheet. Great if you like to do that. But to get started, track on paper with a pencil. Real simple numbers, real simple to aggregate, real simple to use. Now, when it comes to choosing a system for tracking, tip number 4 here is the idea that any system that you use every single day, quick and easy, is a good system. Don't criticize anybody's system. There's nothing wrong with a system that somebody uses. The flip side of that is any system that you do not use is a bad system. Fancy app, you name it, it doesn't matter. If you're not going to use it, it's bad. It's not working for you. It's not a good thing. So any system that you use is a good system. Any system that doesn't fit you in your life is a bad system for you. Doesn't mean it's not a great system for Jimmy, but it's a bad system for you. Speaking of Jimmy, only compare you to you. Tip number 5, only compare you to you. Your numbers are your numbers. Maybe your life partner, maybe a business partner, maybe an accountant, the circle, the close circle around you that helps you with your business. Should they be involved in your numbers? Yes. Can they know about your numbers? Yes. But nobody else. Whoever cuts hair next to you 2 chairs down, that's not your deal. You don't care about their numbers, they shouldn't be privy to yours. Keep your numbers to yourself and compare you to you. And a good day for you is a good day for you. A better day for you is a better day for you. Now, I don't care what Jimmy's doing. Last on the list, have goals and be prepared to adjust along the way. It's one thing to track. Once you get a handle on tracking, that first statistic, 2 or 3 months in, once you've started to understand the statistic, once you have a real feel for how that statistic plays out with you, well then, now you know, good day, bad day. Now you can set a goal. Hey, I'm consistently tracking with this statistic at this point. I want to drive for here. I want to drive for an increase. I want to try to add a little bit of a bump and work towards that. And recognize that initially, some of your reaching may not be realistic. Or initially, some of your reaching is not far enough. One way or the other, be prepared to adjust the goals. All right. Second portion of our program. I call this the evolution of tracking. When the tracking bug bites, it's important to understand how your tracking activities will evolve. And I'm going to use the example here of one of my favorite statistics, what I think in many cases is the first statistic you should track. And that is your rate of occupancy. I call it ROO. ROO, real simply, is the answer to the question, expressed as a percentage of the haircuts that you can cut. How many did you cut? How busy are you? Basically, it is actual haircuts divided by haircut capacity. I can do 2 an hour, 10 hours a day. That's 20 haircuts a day. That's my capacity. I did 10 haircuts. 10 divided by 20 is 0.5 or half. You're 50% occupied. The math is simple. But here's what I call the evolution of tracking. Step 1, know what to track. Occupancy. Know why you're tracking it. Well, that tells me how busy I am, how full I am, how much I have room to grow. Where am I in terms of my capacity? Know what to track. Know why you're tracking it. Number 3, know how to track it. I already told you that. In the case of occupancy, it's easy. How many haircuts can you do? How many haircuts did you do? Divide. Simple. Know how to track it. Know how to interpret the number. This is the key to benefits from tracking, is know that when you look at the number, you need to understand, what is the number saying? What is the number telling you? On its own, on paper, it's just a number. It means nothing. It means nothing until you interpret it. As an example, in the case of occupancy, the professional goal for beauty and barber, for haircutters, for people in our industry, is to be 80% occupied. If you are 70% occupied when you do the math, it tells you you're a little short. And there are things to do to change that. If you're 95% occupied, knowing the goal is 80, that's a piece of powerful feedback. That's information. What do you do with that information? That's point number 5. Number 1, know what to track. Number 2, know why you're tracking it. Number 3, know how to track it. Number 4, know how to interpret the number. And number 5, know how to act. Know what to do with the information. It's one thing to have the information. It's another thing to understand the information. It's a third thing to act on it. I am under my capacity target. What are the behaviors that I can employ right now, today, this week, to make that number grow? My goal is 80 and I'm at 92% occupancy. What does that tell me? And what do I need to do now in order to see that number adjust or evolve to where I want it to be? There you go. That's your basic course in tracking. Some tips for tracking and to understand the evolution of tracking to implement tracking. Comment on the video. Let's get some conversation started. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Turn on your notifications so you never miss anything. You want to be a serious tracker and measurer of your business? Get a copy of 100 by 100. It's still free. Go to my website at ivanzoot.com. Free book offer. Pay the shipping and handling. I'll give you the book for nothing. 100 new haircut customers in 100 days guaranteed. This is your roadmap, your guidebook, your day by day, your step by step to new customer acquisition. That'll tweak your occupancy like nobody's business. Thank you for being here. Thank you for checking in. Shout out to my friends, Bellzone Barbershop, New Jersey, coming up on their 100th anniversary year. Quite a reputation for 100 years of delivering world-class customer service and awesome haircuts. Thanks for the t-shirt, guys. If you want your t-shirt featured in an Ivan Zoot video, reach out to me. Send me a t-shirt. It's not more complicated than that. Thanks for watching. Join the online tribe or community. Thanks for being here, and have a great day. Happy holidays, everyone.